Nebraska, Virginia. This game needs no introduction. A pure classic to the CCS community. Jonas, it's been great to have you back the last two nights. The last time we were calling games together, Nebraska was one of the biggest stories in the league. If you've had a couple of legendary calls with Nebraska back in season 3, especially that Purdue reverse sweep, the first one to ever do it. That's one of the greatest ones I think we've had together on a broadcast. That was a lot of fun. But Nebraska, again, several seasons now in CCS, entering their 5th career season here at the league. Virginia, the first CCS game they've ever played. Against Nebraska, who's ranked, they've got a chance to pick up a ranked win, their first ever career game here against Nebraska. But Virginia, newcomers to the league from Richmond, Virginia. Jonas, can they get the job done on opening night against number 24 Nebraska, a ranked victory? How sweet does that sound?
It would be pretty nice for Virginia to get it done here to start off season 8. But again, Virginia, I know nothing. I'm gonna be honest with you guys. I have absolutely no idea what we're gonna see from this team. Nebraska, ranked number 24, snuck into the top 25. Again, have had some great seasons. They have a soft spot in my heart forever, all the way back since season 3. They will always live in my heart as just the Cornhuskers. I'm always gonna have that connection with them. I'm always gonna love and cherish it. I'm hoping they do good. Virginia, I don't know what I'm going to see. I don't know what I'm expecting. If they come out firing. Huh?
That's why we're here. They're new to the league. We got to showcase them.
No, that's why we wanted to see them versus Nebraska. Again, team who's in the top 25, going up against a team who we haven't seen before. They're a dark horse. They're going to get to display themselves on the mainstream here tonight.
Looks like we have a substitute for Virginia. Munio is a sub, it looks like. Oh. So we'll see how that affects this lineup, but they must not be at full strength as the players are joining the field. Nebraska, number 24 in the country, versus unranked Virginia. We're underway in game 1. Jonas, let's take it away. Virginia, the Cavaliers. Can they knock off ranked Nebraska?
We're about to witness it again. A lot of questions to see what Virginia is going to be able to do in Nebraska. Again, they've always been a fan favorite nation, all the way back since season 3 when they got it done, winning to the underdogs against the Boilermakers. And I said they've kind of always lived in my heart. I think that's kind of been the core of the CCS community, as well as everyone kind of roots for this team when they come up. If you have no one to go to, Nebraska are there, and they've had themselves some great seasons, and now going toe-to-toe with the newcomers of Virginia. Looking to get an early start is Creed, followed up by Mincy. It's the Cornhuskers on the board first.
We sure do miss Noe. No nonsense. Noe was a lot of fun to watch.
No nonsense.
That season 3 Big Ten tournament was a lot of fun. Nebraska's storied run against Illinois and Purdue, and in the championship game with Oregon, who went on to a national championship game that season with Colorado. But this Nebraska team is storied in the broadcast and storied in the CCS community forever. I just remember the days you could turn on the stream to a Nebraska game and have 50 viewers off the rip. But 4 minutes on the clock here. Nebraska, again, a storied program in the league. Virginia trying to build a legacy with their first career game here. What's in store for the Cavaliers?
We're going to find out, as are down 1-0 early. Again, still looking to see that offense find a little bit of momentum, a.k.a. Wings, Munio, and Z-Sib being the trio we're seeing tonight. Wings takes it away, back out. Creed demoed by Munio, getting some space for the Cavaliers towards the midfield. Picked up well by Sib. Might have a look here, down overtime. Mincy Creed there, holds on tight.
Munio fires and scores 1-1. Virginia on the board, their first career CCS goal, 3:28 to go.
Yeah, and ultimately just able to break down Nebraska one piece at a time. A good 50, a good beat, and suddenly net open for Munio, 1-1. Here we go, and still a lot to be said for both these teams. And again, I very well could think this could be a long series, but again, as much as I can try and predict, Nation, it's I don't know what I'm gonna see.
I did see that in the break room. UConn did defeat Grand Canyon 3-1, the final score. Nebraska also coming off a win earlier tonight, 3-1 the final over Oklahoma State. They're 1-0 currently, looking to go 2-0 here with a win over Virginia, as the Big Ten Going to be a storied conference, I'm sure of it, this spring with Purdue, Illinois, Nebraska, Indiana, who's a national title contender, by the way. Same with Maryland. There's a lot of good teams there as Creed finds a second, 2:49 to go.
Yeah, Nebraska, I mean, they're a great team. They have their work cut out for them in conference play. Big Ten is one of those conferences. The aura radiating off that conference is insane. The amount of teams who can contend, who can be at the best. What was it, Nation? 7 of the top 25 are from the Big Ten?
7 teams currently ranked at the moment.
Oof. I mean, that is just absolutely filthy. The dangerous conference we have, and Creed wanting to establish as a dangerous man in that conference. He picks up another.
237. Gribble's currently typing in the report channel, so I assume Michigan State has also defeated Utah.
Well, I'm interested to see
3-1
that
the final.
series score. 3-1. Interesting. I mean, we expecting Michigan State to be a solid program. Again, I believe Michigan State ranked number 9, so a top 10 team there in Utah. Utah
right.
Always a... We always talk about Utah, how scary they can be, as Nebraska almost find another look inside here. But, I mean, I think that result being, I would say, as expected.
Yeah, I'd say that. I mean, that's as expected. Utah's unranked. I think Michigan State is probably ranked a little high, but I don't disagree with them being 9. But I do think as the season goes on, we'll see them kind of fall around the 12 to 15 range. But a minute 50 left to go. That's a very solid win, another marquee win for the Big Ten as a conference as a whole in that Big 12 scheduling challenge. But again, there's still a lot of season to go. The Big Ten's tough to win in as we know it. But 106 here, Nebraska, a good showing early.
Yeah, and the offense has really hit its stride as Mincy will connect with number 4 and just keep on adding. Even though there was the double commit there, did not matter, as it was Munio kind of left net with no booze, wanted that corner, and there was no one left back. 12 shots from the Cornhuskers, only 2 from Virginia.
Again, Virginia is down a man. They are playing with a sub. Not too sure who he's replacing and how much of a difference it would make, but right now Nebraska is in the driver's seat position and complete control. I'm not too sure his sub really is going to matter much here, at least it appears in game 1. But again, it's Virginia's first career CCS series. There's still at least 9 more to go after this.
Yeah, and I'm very curious to see how they do as the season kind of unwinds again. Going into next week, the first week of conference play, they have Louisville, they have North Carolina. I think those will be 2 interesting showings for them, depending on how this match goes.
You got to beat Louisville. That's for you. If you're Virginia, you have to beat Louisville. That's the easier match of the 2. North Carolina is a little bit more of a step up. A high-paced offense. I think that's kind of tough for a lot of defenses to deal with that aren't quite equipped to play at a high level. And as Virginia's season goes on, again, they're going to learn very quick how strong the ACC is, that's for sure. But, again, I've heard a lot of good things about this program and this team in the last semester. It's going to be a learning curve, that's for sure. But, again, the wins are going to come for Virginia. I'm certain of that. That's a miss in the goal line. Mincy finds a 5th. 19 to go. It's 5-1.
and Mincy just flip it on his back there out of, I don't know, pure disgust maybe, as Wings. That needs to be knocked away, as, I mean, that is probably the least pretty hat trick you're going to see for Mincy as he collects his 3rd. And Nation, I want you to pop the scoreboard open just for a moment. Look at Creed.
Creed, 548 score, 11 shots, my goodness, on 2 goals and 2 assists. Creed's have yourself a game, my friend.
And he is just a machine gun on net, just putting on shot after shot, and ultimately the entire count for Nebraska falls to 18 shots, 5 goals, 11 shots coming out of Creed himself. The hat trick for Mincy, and again Virginia stayed at 2. Again, it felt pretty narrow to begin, and then Nebraska just started moving, and it saw Virginia stay a little bit too stagnant.
Absolutely. Well, talking earlier about that UConn game, we mentioned that program earlier in the broadcast. They'll take on Illinois later this week. That's an exciting game to look forward to. But, again, another Big Ten school with a chance to get a big win. But again, the Big Ten as a conference, it is so good this season. I mean, again, Illinois, Michigan State, Nebraska, Purdue, Maryland, Indiana, who's a national title contender, by the way. I mean, the list goes on and on. And same with the Big 12. I mean, again, I think these are the two best conferences in the country by far. My goodness, what a save for Korea to keep this game unscathed. But as the conference comes to the tournament and the CCS championships, I expect the Big Ten to make several teams have big runs.
Oh, I would expect so as well. I mean, you could easily see, possibly 2 teams out of the Big Ten, making it to the Final Four. I don't think that's outlandish to say at all. I mean, you kind of look at the front runners right now, Indiana and Maryland. They're looking to have themselves a long season. Of course, the bracket, we'll see how it shakes out. That is a long time away as of right now, but I'm curious to see how many teams are able to make it into the tournament, how many go far in the tournament, and Nebraska being one of them. I'm curious to see what they're able to do here in Season 8.
And I don't think it's also outlandish to say this. Winning the Big Ten tournament,
Tell me,
harder than winning the national championship.
I think that can. I was going to agree with you, and then I remembered Akron exists, the 4-time defending champs, and that made me. I think I might have to go against you there. I think Akron are kind of the penultimate team in this entire league.
Well, I think Indiana and Maryland have both proved that they can beat Akron, or at least play them dang near close. And to win the Big Ten tournament, you got to go through both of them, and along the likes of Purdue, Illinois, Michigan State, the list goes on. So but again, winning the national tournament is also very, very difficult. But the Big Ten tournament, it's so stacked, especially with it being single Elam is here in CCS. It's win or go home from the start.
Yeah, it's always gonna be fun to watch, and I mean, when the conference tournaments roll around, the Big Ten conference tournament always comes to play. Those matches will forever be some of the best we have. I mean, again, since Season 3, Nebraska they took the conference by storm, and they made it even more fun to watch. And I mean, it has just cemented itself atop the CCS as probably the best conference you're going to see all around. Most teams, most competition, most depth. They have it all.
They do. I mean, again, the Big 12 has depth too, but it really hasn't been like the Big 10 has been the last 2 seasons here at CCS. And again, the Big 10 conference tournament will feature 15 teams or 16 Big 10 teams competing in CCS this season. But the Big 10 Athletics uses 15 out of their 18 institutions in their conference postseasons, and so the bottom last place team will be eliminated for the Big Ten tournament contention. Who that will be, we'll find out in 5 weeks.
Yeah, that'll be a lot of fun to figure out as time goes on, and looking forward to conference play as it gets underway. Nebraska, they're one of those teams. They kind of have it hard to begin their first week of conference play next week. They take on Purdue in the Season 3 conference tournament rematch, and then they have Maryland, who are currently number 3, might move up to number 2 with their showing so far in non-conference play. We'll have to see, and it's not very easy there. It's not going to be very nice for them, but they're going to be looking to stay around. And then they have Michigan State the next week. That's going to be tough. And then they play Penn State. I mean, the list goes on, and it's Nebraska. They're going to have their work cut out for them, but that's just the Big Ten.
It really is just the Big Ten. I mean, last season it was Oregon that missed the conference tournament at number 16, but again, I'm just going to go ahead and say to Nebraska, I'm deeply sorry in advance for the doom schedule that I seem to have given you, because I didn't look at any of the schedules. All I did was go to a computer, click auto-generate, and typed it all in. I did not look at the schedule at all. So I do apologize for not checking that, but it seems like Nebraska got a little bit of a doom schedule ahead. But again, they're a good program. They can compete with those schools, and I'm excited to see how it all plays out.
As Creed with back-to-back dunks. What was that?
Does their schedule get any easier?
No, actually, it gets much better.
Oh,
I will say. I'll give that to them. So, again, they start with Purdue and Maryland. That's easily their toughest week of the entire season.
Then it gets easy.
Yeah, then they have Penn State, Michigan State. Then it goes on to USC. Then they have UCLA, Wisconsin, and then they end off their season with Oregon and Northwestern. So it's going to start at the very top, and it's going to get easier. So their showings next week are probably going to be the ones that are under the microscope most, being against the top level teams.
I could see 5-3, maybe 4-4. They can pick off one of the big four in the schedule.
I think I could see a 5-3. I think that's definitely possible.
I mean, I think if they win any of those four series, they beat Michigan State. I think Purdue and Maryland are for sure probably not going to be extremely great, but I could see them winning those series. But it's going to be tough. They're going to have the work cut out for them. And Penn State's a series where anything can happen.
Yeah, they have become the wild card. There is, no. That really being the perfect term. You never know what you're going to get, whether they're going to roll over their opponent or whether they're going to roll over themselves. It is a huge question mark, so we'll see. As this game coming to a closing game number 2, it has been all Cornhuskers thus far, 3-0. Creed has been leading the pack again, got 2 of those 3, having 3 of the 5 saves, and now Virginia will have to try and find themselves a reverse sweep.
You know what would have been funny?
Tell me.
Watching Noe chase down Nitrous. That would have been
no nonsense.
Comedy.
Straight at him. That would have been pretty great.
They never got to play while Noe was at Nebraska against Penn State. The one time they were scheduled, Penn State quit halfway through the season, so they never got to play with Noe against Penn State. But that would have been funny watching Noe chase down Nitrous. But anywho, Nebraska wins game 2. We're on to game 3. Now Nebraska a chance to close this one down in a 3-0 sweep.
Yeah, I would love to get a nice 3-0 sweep to begin things and start off back on the main broadcast. Would love to see them protect that top 25. Well, I mean, we've still seen some decent looks out of Virginia, but I mean, Nebraska, as soon as they kind of took control of game 1, they haven't really let it go.
I'm going to check who's being replaced right now. And hey, it looks like see Sid Munio in Wings. Wings is Eric. Let's see. So they're replacing Wern. Is the guy being replaced tonight? Wern is loading his tracker. He is GC2, GC3P.
Okay.
So it looks like whoever the SSL is here tonight. Not sure who it is, because I'm not going to look. I'm not nosy, but looks like their best player is playing.
You're not nosy, Nation.
I'm not nosy at all.
He's not nosy. We'll have to see. I mean, there's still definitely potential for this team, but again, Nebraska, they're looking good, and I'm sure that's something that Cyan Delta loves to see, and really all of the Nebraska fans in chat know there's always going to be a horde of them here on the mainstream. Is promising. Just looking to roll this one in. He does, low and slow to claim the lead.
Hey, all right, I'm nosy. Their SSL level player is Wings. Is their SSL
I just
dude.
defended you.
I know. Well, now I got curious, and my curiosity intrigued me there.
Yeah. I mean, we'll see if Wings can kind of help reclaim control. As I mean, Nebraska, they've just been rolling and rolling here in this series so far, and ultimately, again, Virginia just haven't had too much control of anything. Ball control, boost control, field control. They've just been kind of pushed down by the Huskers in this one, and Nebraska feeling ever so confident in the way they're moving. Again, Creed has been dominating things so far. Again, has been not afraid to let some shots fly. Has been a little bit quieter so far in this third game, as it's been, of course, promising who put that first one away.
Virginia will also take on Georgia later this week, so maybe that one will be a little bit better for Virginia compared to Nebraska, who's ranked. Georgia did receive 1 vote from a committee voter. I will not leak who ranked them, but so I'm not going to do that because I'm not mean. But 2:50 left to go. Georgia and Virginia up later this week. Up next is their next opponent. Nebraska will take on Maryland and Purdue up next for them. But as their non-conference, they double up tonight. They beat Oklahoma State coming into this. You mentioned last night how momentum is a real factor. It seems to really, really help Nebraska tonight.
Yeah, it really has, and I'm so excited to see Georgia. I mean, I believe we talked about it last night. I'm very excited to see Georgia with DJ TJ back on the roster. You know, of course, another caster, another commentator. Really a great dude. Nothing but professional and humbleness from TJ, and expecting to see Georgia have themselves a solid season. Look, I'm curious to see how they do.
Absolutely. I mean, again, I think it's an upgrade for the Bulldogs, and we'll see how the SEC goes. But again, last time I talked a lot about how wide open it is. So we'll see how everything shakes out there. But CCS's going to find one for Virginia. We're back tied to 1, 2 minutes to go.
Yeah, good bit of control. Then the demo was there as well, and ZSIP took full advantage. Top right flick over top Creed with no boost, and Virginia steadily tie it up here. And now we'll see if Nebraska can get it back again. It looked like the momentum kind of slowed a little bit, maybe got a little bit too comfy, too cozy. We've seen that before, Nation, where teams go up 2-0, drop the third game because they kind of let their guard down.
This is Virginia's chance to get back into it with 1:30 left to go here. I mean, again, still plenty of time on the clock for the Cavaliers to make a statement.
That's a good flick from Mincy, promising there to cover, promising. Got both here for the Huskers, and Virginia, that side game gone in a flash.
1:32 remains for Virginia to avoid a sweep here in game 3, but what a showing for Nebraska. I mean, again, 3-1 earlier over Oklahoma State in their Big 10, Big 12 scheduling challenge match, and now potential 1:30 away from a sweep over probably middle of the pack ACC team, if I had to guess, which isn't going to be maybe a quality win. We'll see how their ACC season goes, but another big win for Nebraska added on to the resume.
Yeah, unfortunately, that play a little less pretty, as no boost for really any of Virginia there, and promising, more than happy to collect his hat trick in this third game, and he's just been kind of steadily going off in this one.
Absolutely, he has. And again, this is our last undercard of the night until we get to our main event. Virginia Tech, number 5, I believe, versus number 2, Florida. Coming up after this, about 40 minutes time at 10 Eastern, a big-time game up next.
Yeah, that'll be a very fun one to see how that plays out. Excited to see the Gators in CCS once again. I mean, Florida have always just been Florida. I mean, it's been the thing for the Gators. They've never been the number 1 team. They've always been just kind of second. You know, before Akron, it was UTK, it was Tennessee who led the charge and had to see Florida stay behind them, and now Akron has emerged themselves as, you know, the ultimate champions, being 4-time defending champs, and Florida have always just kind of been right behind them.
Well, we did see Mizzou kind of lead the charge back in season 5.
That's true.
Back when they had their best season in the league, when they made a Final Four loss to Akron, they went on to win it. But 8 seconds here, this series will wrap up. Nebraska is 2-0 in CCS season 8. They'll pick up wins over Oklahoma State and Virginia. 6-1 in games. They're 2-0 going into conference play.
Yeah, that is a tougher start for the Cavaliers, but Nebraska, good to see them back on the mainstream as they pick up a nice sweep, playing very cleanly over top. Again, game 1 seemed like they were just kind of getting heated up, and they heated up indeed. A nice sweep for the Cornhuskers. Still interested to see what Virginia can do. Did see definitely some potential, you know, maybe getting Worm back out on the field. I'm curious to see what they'll kind of look like come ACC play. Definitely can maybe surprise us.
What the wait and see is up next, Virginia Tech and Florida here in about 30 minutes time. I mean, early thoughts on what's to come is projected ACC champion and projected SEC champion battle off in the premier match of the ACC SEC scheduling challenge. Should be a fun one. I'm going to take the Hokies in 5.
I mean, I'm going to be honest, Nation. I don't know. I could be wrong about this. My memory is awful. I don't know if I've ever seen Virginia Tech actually play.
Well, I don't think you haven't casted a game in a while, and this is a new roster from this fall, so I don't think you've gotten to watch this team play.
I don't think I have at all. I know that they're good. I know that they can be dangerous. I've seen their results. That's kind
You've
of the
watched
most I've
Silent.
seen from them.
You've seen Silent
I
play.
have watched Silent. I have seen Silent.
Acidoc
I'm
and
not
Blazer,
sure
I
what
don't
to
think you've
expect.
watched.
No, I don't recognize, but I know Florida. I've seen Florida. I'm expecting Florida to take it. I would probably say Florida in 4.
That's a fair assessment. Well, anyways, we're going to go to break. When we come back, a top 5 battle. When we come back, Virginia Tech is not 5. They're 7. So
They're
it's
7.
a top 7 battle. And after we come back from the break, it's going to feel like an Elite 8 matchup with number 2 versus number 7 in the country. When we come back, it's number 2 Florida and number 7 Virginia Tech.